Indie, and today I am here with a 2017 book haul. Yes, I'm aware that it is 2018, like a month or so in, but I really didn't do a lot of filming in 2017. I thought, I'll just show off the few books that I got in 2017. Spoiler alert, I got 32 books in 2017. Now, I had no idea that I got that many. I know I bought a few from Book Depository and just around town, and I got some in some book boxes, but 32 was a lot more than I was expecting, so this video is going to be longer than I was thinking. But anyway, I'm very excited to show you the books that I got, since I said it doesn't really film much, so a lot of these sort of went unnoticed, but I am excited to haul them for you. I love a good book haul, and it's been like a year, so I'm so ready to get into it. The first book I have to show you today is the third book in this series, and that is King's Cage by Victoria Aveyard. And yes, it's the third book in the Red Queen series. I haven't read the first two yet, but I have the third one, so when I'm ready to read them, I have the marathon. I have the beautiful hardcover sets because I couldn't not get the hardcover sets because they're stunning. I am ready for one day when I decide to read them. Yes. The next book I have here is one that I really want to read. Just eventually, you know, put it on the TBR for one day. And that is Between Shades of Grey by Ruta Sepetys. I have read Salt to the Sea, which I really enjoyed as a sort of historical fiction novel. So this is the first one that she wrote. It's set in the sort of same genre of historical fiction, but these were actual events that happened. So I definitely know that I will enjoy this one, so I'm looking forward to reading it sometime soon. The next four books I have to show you are Outlander books because I love Outlander so very much. So I had to add to my collection. I still have to buy a couple. They're in my wish list on Book Depository, soon to buy them, I hope. I don't know why I'm holding off, but at the same time I'm like, probably should save some money, so maybe I'll get them hopefully soon, but then my Outlander collection will be complete. But I'm going to show you the four books that I have on my way to completing the entire series. The first one I have here is like the newest one in sort of like the series, but like not really because it's novellas, and that is Seven Stones to Stand or Fall, a collection of Outlander short stories by Diana Gabaldon. I'm already in love with it because it's such a nice colour, it's a massive hardcover, But this one has, yeah, a few short stories that have been published over the years, and it's just sort of like a bind up of those ones. But yeah, this will be really good. I don't know if I need to read all of the books first. I assume not because they've been published throughout the years, but we'll find out in time because there's a few good ones that I am really excited to read in here. The next two books I'm over the moon to have. Like, I haven't really gone through them too much, but I need to. And I will very soon. But they are the Outlanderish Companions Volume 1 and Volume 2. So this one is in relation to Outlander, Dragonfly and Amber, Voyager and Drums of Autumn. So it has like characters, so detailed synopsises of the books and commentaries, glossaries, and definitely talking about the characters and who they are. So that is like my favorite part of this. And of course this is Volume 2, featuring The Fiery Cross, A Breath of Snow and Ashes, Echo in the Bone, and Written in My Own Heart's Blood. So the last four books, and again it's got some stuff I think more to do with the TV show, definitely character synopsises and all that jazz. So these are really going to help me because it's been a while since I've read an Outlander book, so I'm going to hit this up before I continue to read Drums of Autumn and in future, because my mum also reads this series and I'm like, girl, so I need these to just further enjoy Outlander because it's a big series to commit to, and remembering all characters is very hard sometimes. And the last one that I got, I paid way too much money for this, but it's okay because I love it and it combines like three of my favorite things: reading, cooking, and Outlander. And that is The Outlander Kitchen by Teresa Carl Sanders and obviously by Diana Gabaldon. Tell me that isn't beautiful. Like, are you serious? Like, I love it so much. For each sort of recipe, they have a little section like that references which section in the book that it came from, with the book and the chapter and the everything. So it's really cool. Obviously they're very old style recipes because it's from Scotland in the 18th century. So of course they are, but I'm like excited to make some of these. Like, I don't know if I can really buy pigeon and things like that, but you know, I'm gonna just really try some of these recipes because I'm really excited. The next one I have here is sort of a bit of a random choice. I really don't remember why I bought it, but it was quite some time ago, and that is Never Never Part 2 by Colleen Hoover. Didn't realize that said Part 2 until still now. Anyway, this is like part of a 3-book little like short story series by Colleen Hoover and Tarynn Fisher. So I bought it just because I love Colleen Hoover. I want to have all of her books. I think I need to get Part 1 1 and part 3 before I can actually read this. So I'm just gonna go put that on my wish list right now. The next 2 books on my list should come as no surprise because they were new releases in 2017 and a series that I actually keep up with. So I got A Court of Winks and Ruin by Sarah J Maas, which I have read. Finished the series, cannot wait for the second half of this series. I don't know how it's gonna go, but I'm definitely looking forward to it. And Tower of Dawn by Sarah J Maas, so the unofficial 7th book, but like a not really 7th book in the Throne of Glass series. So this is a sort of novella story about Kale and that other chick that I don't remember her name. Sarah has a lot of N names, so I always get them confused, but it's like a short story of what he was doing throughout book 5, Empire of Storm. So I need to read this baby because I really want to, but I feel the need to reread the entire series just so I'm up to date with what's happening, also to prepare myself for the last book because that is gonna be too epic. So you know, we'll get to this one once we do a nice big reread, which is not gonna take me like 6 months, but who cares? I'm excited. The next 2 books I have here are, funnily enough, the same color scheme and the same idea. 2 similar, but again, different worlds. And the first one I have here is the Because You Love to Hate Me, the 13 Tales of Villainy, edited by Amerie. I hope that's how you say her name. And this is the 13 stories that are written by prevalent YA authors and booktubers. So I'm really excited. I waited so long to get this beautiful hardcover edition because like the paperback was no comparison. So this one, yes, as I said, involves lots of YouTubers, and so they're collections of stories together that were written, and I'm excited about this one. But in the same sort of genre as that is a hashtag Love YA Anthology, and so this one features lots of Australian authors, again sort of short stories, and I'm excited about this one as well. My friends talked about it on their podcast, so I will link that down below for you. They talked to Danielle Binks, who did the editing, but this one I guess is important to me, is a Australian YA anthology, and you know, I'm an Australian booktuber and I love to support Australian authors when I can, even though I don't read a lot of Australian authors personally, but I appreciate, you know, that other people do and their work, and being in Australia is very different from the US market, so I am like excited to read this one, and also like it's beautiful. The next one I have here is one that I really saw everywhere but I didn't buy for myself until I went to one of those like cheap $7 bookstores that they have like in Australia at some shopping centres. It's a thing, I don't know why, but it doesn't matter. But I got this book, Carve the Mark by Veronica Roth. This was her first book out of the Divergent series that came out last year, I'm pretty sure. I hope it was 2017. Yeah, I don't know. I remember like hearing about it and being interested in it, and because I saw it cheap I thought, well, why not get it? And also it's a beautiful cover. But I don't know how I feel about necessarily reading this one anytime soon. Maybe if the second book comes out then that would be quite an incentive, but at the moment I'm just sort of like, I'm chill with it being my shelf and just looking pretty. This next one I got kind of recently-ish when I was living in Brisbane, and that is Dividing Eden by Joelle. Ooh, that's a hard last name. I bought when I was in Dimmicks with a friend. We were just sort of having a look around, picked up a few books. Again, a beautiful cover, like a nice sort of silver sheen, got the white and the black, and it's about a brother and sister who are going to rule Eden, but I think they have to have some sort of battle, kill one another, some sort of like crazy storyline that I'm in love with. I love a bit of the kingdom fantasy sort of jazz, so I'm looking forward to reading this one. This one I got one of those cheap $7 bookstores while I was in Melbourne, and mostly for the cover. The storyline seems quite interesting, but I mean the cover. So it's called Arcadia and it is by Ian Pearce. It's a beautiful looking cover, and when I heard Arcadia I did kind of think of The 100, so I think that's what my mindset was. So this one is not a must read particularly soon, but I wanted it for the cover, so I got it because it was $7 and a massive hardcover, like value, right? This is quite the lineup. Again, I said I had a few from the $7 bookshops, but you know, I didn't expect 3 in a row to come around. But this was the next one, and definitely a steal because I have another style of this one, but it was like $40, my ghost one if you recall. And this is The Desire, 100 of the literature's sexiest stories, chosen by Morel Frostrup. It's beautiful and it's absolutely massive, and I was like $7. Like as I said, the ghost one I bought of this was $40, so I'm excited about reading some sexy stories. I know there's one from Gabaldon Gabaldon in here, which is in her Seven Stones book, so that's why I'm like, oh, can't wait to read it. And I love me a little bit of romance, so I mean, I can't go wrong with this, can I? The next 3 books I have here is a box set. I'm intrigued to read them, but I don't know how I feel just yet. My mum was very excited to get me these, so this is where we're at. But it is Disney Twisted Tales, and it is a story by Liz Braswell. So we have A Whole New World, Once Upon a Dream, and As Old as Time. So they're kind of like retellings of Disney stories, but like, I don't know, with a darker twist, I think. I'm not exactly sure what is gonna happen, but it seems cool enough, and I know my mum is really excited to buy them for me, so I mean, I will read them at some point when I'm feeling, I don't know, in a Disney mood, which it does happen from time to time. It's very true. So I'm intrigued to see what sort of like genre it'll be within Disney, if it's gonna be modern day, if it's gonna be, I don't know, different named characters. I really don't know, so this should be very interesting. The next 2 books are from another favorite series of mine that is ongoing and that I keep up with, and that is the series by Cassandra Clare, and that it was Lord of Shadows, the second book in the Dark Artifices by Cassandra Clare. So this one is a bit, she's a bit destroyed because I took her everywhere with me while I was on the trains in Brisbane, going to TAFE, anything, because I was obsessed with reading this and as normal. So yeah, she's a little dinged up for a paperback, but that's okay. It was a really, really good book, and I'm looking forward to, I can't remember the name right now, but the 3rd book in the series coming out this year. And one that I really picked up recently, I had no idea it was coming out, but I just bought it while I was at Big W randomly on a whim one day, and that is the 10th anniversary edition of City of Bones, the first book in the TMI series by Cassandra Clare. Girl, she is beautiful. It's got some beautiful illustrations in it, which I don't have because I have the paperback version, but so excited. It's got so many cute little extra things in it, and like, I love this series with all my heart. So to have a 10th anniversary edition and think this came out 10 years ago is crazy to me. It is absolutely crazy to me. Yeah, I can't believe, not that I've been with it for exactly 10 years, probably about 8 years at this point that I've been with it, but like, girl, it's so nice to have another edition and just let my collection grow even wider, because why not? The next 2 books are not 100% my like cup of tea necessarily, but I got them because my like auntie, her friend writes them, and I thought, well, I would love to help support a Australian author and someone I'm close to. So these are by Lea Davey, and this is The Shack by the Bay, and this one is Silkworm Secrets. I believe they're both separate books. I'm not sure if I'll ever read them or read them with any particular haste, but you know, I thought, why not support Australian reading and literature? So I have these 2 ones as well. The next one I have here is one that I'm actually reading the first book of currently-ish. I mean, I started reading it and I've stopped, but I'm gonna come back with it, and that is Blood by Blood by Ryan Gordon. It is the 2nd book to Wolf by Wolf, and I feel like there's a 3rd one out or coming out. I really don't know. But yes, this is the 2nd one, as I said, to the 1st book, and I thought I better just get it while I saw it, because I'm determined to finish the first one soon. And the last 3 books I have here are all Harry Potter related, because of course they are. The first one I bought for my sister for her birthday, but I didn't buy myself one until very recently, and that is the house edition of Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. I am a Ravenclaw, so I got myself this version. So I finally bought myself this one, and I'm intrigued to see the rest of them come out, I guess, every year, just like we do with the illustrated edition books. And speaking of that, for Christmas, my mother got me Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, which is my favorite movie, but not my favorite book, I have to say. Don't know why I mentioned that. Anyway, this one is really nice. I love the dark tone of it and seeing the night bus. Oh my god, that does not look like what I thought Stan was supposed to look like. Anyway, I'm excited to have this one to add to the ongoing collection. And the last book on this haul of books that I bought for myself is A History of Magic by J.K. Rowling and Harry Potter and all of the great things. But A History of Magic, I feel like there's another big book or something, or like Fantastic Beasts or something. There's some other book, I swear. But I am excited to read this one. Ideally in life I want Hogwarts history, but I will take this one as well. And I don't know if this is an illustrated edition or not. You know, I haven't really flicked through it until just now. Cute, there's notes written in things. This seems great. Oh, I actually do want to read this. This is very interesting and so much depth into the world of Harry Potter, so I'll definitely be reading this one hopefully soon. Maybe for Christmas, I don't know. I'll find a time to read it, but I'm definitely excited to read about A History of Magic in the Harry Potter world. Ooh. I did find a few more books that I really realised that I did buy last year, so I'm going to quickly flick through those ones for you. I got Released by Patrick Ness because it's a beautiful, lovely cover and it really reminded me of The Rest of Us Just Live Here. Not really a similar concept, but it's still a contemporary novel and I just really liked the aesthetic of the cover, as I said, similarly to The Rest of Us Just Live Here. And I got the next two books in the 1,000 Pieces of You series by Claudia Gray. So I got 10,000 Skies Above You, A Million Words With You, and they're just beautiful covers, so I needed to have them. Whether or not I read them is another story, but I just wanted them for their beautifulness. The next 5 books I have to show you are ones that I got from my time when I was working with Book Lovers Mystery Box, and these are the books that I got in them. I'll link those videos down below so you can go check them out just for further reference on what these books are, but I'm just going to flick through them now. So I got Breaking the Circle by Megan Lowe, When Nothing Is All You've Got by Kirsty Dallas, Make Me Whole by Kathleen Shepherd, and I have Fix You by Jen Ryan and Still You by Amy K. McClung, and these are sort of like a going together sort of series. They have the same aesthetic on the cover, and most of these are romancy sort of books through Hot Tree Publishing, which is an Australian publishing brand who they work with, and they're Australian boss. Not that I'm here to talk about this, but as I said, I'll link those videos down below so you can find out about them. So those were the mass amounts of books that I actually did get in 2017. I still can't believe that I had that many when I felt like I really didn't buy many or do much with books last year, but there was a look, yes, at all of my books to add to my lovely new collection of shelves. So that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for sticking with me through all of those books. I hope you enjoyed. I'll link them all down below just in case you missed any of the titles, and I will see you in my next video. Bye! And that is Between Sheets of... the newest one... God. Begin and Begin, a Love YA is a love and it's Australian. It is an Australian and Harry Potter and the in specific YA chrono. No, when nothing is when nothing.